Very good morning to all of you. So as last time we are discussing about chemical properties of group number 15. Okay. So in this next we have is characteristics of hydrides. So in this first step we have is basic strength. Okay. So as we know that here we have all hydrides having a pair of electron, or we can say lone pair of electron. So we can say that these are basic in nature. Okay. Or we can also call that these are, we can say, Lewis acid, because they can donate a pair of electron. Okay, so when we are going down the group, so this basic strength is this basic strength is decreases. Okay, so why this basic strength is decreases? Because when we have here, the size is increases when we are going down the group. Okay, if we are talking about first element, which is nitrogen, having small size. Okay, so that means the electron density on that nitrogen is more. Electron density is more, so that means it may be easily break or it may be easily donate electrons. So that is why it is more basic as compared to that of other elements. So next point we have is thermal stability. Now again, when we are going down the group, so that thermal stability is decreases. So why? Because when we are going down the group, size must be increases. Size increases, so that means that elements which are present at the lowest position, okay, bismuth like, so they are not able to form bond with hydrogen like element because these are small in size. So that is why thermal stability of that compound is also decreases. Next point we have is reducing character. Okay, so what I'm saying is that thermal stability down the group is decreases because size is increases. Size is increases like bismuth. Okay, so size is increases, so it does not attach with the hydrogen bond because it have small in size. So next we have is reducing character. So now reducing character of this 15 element group down the group is increases. Now why this increases down the group? Because the stability, as we discussed, is decreases down the group. So with the, we can say, is decrease in stability, reducing character is increases. Clear? Next we have is melting and boiling points. So now we can see that melting point of like first if we have taking NH3 is increases, then it is pH3, then like that increases as and AS antimony like that. Okay, first it is increases, then decrease, and also increases. Okay, so why this is happening? Because in the case of nitrogen, the melting point is high. Why? Because it having tendency, nitrogen having tendency to form bond with hydrogen. Clear? But in the case of that pH3, ASH3 and SbH3, in these case, what we have here, we have intermolecular forces, or we can say van der Waals forces. So with the increase in molecular size, van der Waals forces is also increases. So that is why its melting point then increases. Now this NH3, as I'm saying that this NH3 is forming bond with hydrogen bond. Okay, so we can see that this ammonia is soluble in water, but the other things, these are not form bond with water. Okay, so these are less soluble in water. You have to write these property to yourself on your fair notebook, okay, as I'm explaining in this video. So next one we have is reactivity towards oxygen. Okay, second point we have. So this element is combined with oxygen whether directly or indirectly. Okay, so these are combined in the form of two types. Okay, whether it will form trioxide or pentaoxides. Clear? Trioxide, as you can see, I'm writing here E2O3, which means here we have 3 oxygen and E is the element like nitrogen, phosphorus, etc. Okay, similarly pentaoxides, we have 5 oxygens. So now this nitrogen form a number of oxides, we can say. Why? Because we already discussed that nitrogen having variable oxidation state. Okay, that is like from whether and here it is form compound from +1, 2, 3 to 5. Okay, different products, or we can say different oxide having oxidation state different. So why this is happening? Because here we have strong tendency to form multiple bond. As we discussed that we have nitrogen, okay, it will form triple bond, so that is multiple bond. So that is why it is easy for nitrogen to make bond with others. Okay, so now when we are going down the group, then acidic strength is decreases. Okay, so we can see that bismuth, which is the last element of this group, are weakly basic. Because acidic strength is decreases, so then it is basic. Now this basic nature is increases with the increase in atomic number. When we are going down the group, atomic number is increases, that means basicity is also increases. Next we have is reactivity towards halogen. Okay, now third point is halogens. First we discuss hydride, second oxygen, and now halogen. So now group 15 element form again two types of halides. Okay, first one we have is trihalides and second one we have is pentahalides. Okay, trihalides, which means here we have three halide group, whether chlorine, fluorine or whatever. Okay, similarly here we have 5 halogen atoms. So these trihalides are formed by all the elements in the group number 15, but now pentahalides are formed all the element except nitrogen. As we discussed earlier that nitrogen is not forming pentavalent, or we can say pentahalide. Why? Because nitrogen do not have, there is a vacant d orbital, so that is why it is not able to form pentahalides. Okay, so first one, if we are talking about trihalides. Okay, so now trihalides, as I am drawing the structure E, here we have 3x, which mean halogen atoms, and here we have one lone pair of electron. And as you can see here, we have single bond, so the hybridization of that molecule is sp3. Clear? Here we have 4 sp3 hybrid orbital, 4 sp3. So out of these sp3, 4 sp3 hybrid orbital, 3 are making bond. Okay, 3 are making that bonds, and 1 electron pair is act as a lone pair. Okay, so the geometry of that trihalides is pyramidal geometry. Remember that geometry is pyramidal. Okay, so clear. So now this trihalides of nitrogen is less, we can say, stable. जो नाइट्रोजन के हमारे पास ट्राइहलाइड्स हैं वो लेस स्टेबल होंगे, but here we have NF3 which is stable. Now why these are trihalides of nitrogen are less stable? Because the NX bond is weak. Okay, it is weak due to the large size difference, because nitrogen and fluorine have almost same size, but other element have large in size. That is why nitrogen is not able to form bond with that large size elements. Okay, next we have pentahalides. Okay, so as we say, only nitrogen is not forming bond, but other will form bond. So we can see that size of the halogen is increases from fluorine to iodine. When we are moving down the group, sizes increases, so we can see that strength of bond is also decreases. Okay, size increases, strength of bond is decreases. So if we want to prepare this pentahalide, so it will be like, if we are taking here PCl3 and we are treating it with chlorine in the presence of carbon tetrachloride, here is the formation of PCl5, which is phosphorus pentachloride. Clear? So if you want to draw the structure of that, so it may be like that. Okay, here we have E, which may be phosphorus, okay, and X, which may be chlorines. It will be represented like that. Okay, these three, these are known as equatorial position, these three. Okay, as you can see, this lie in the triangle, so that is why it is equatorial positions. Other two are the axial positions. Okay, so if we want to write the geometry of that, so the geometry of that is trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal, remember that, pyramidal. Clear? So as I am saying that these are the equatorial and these are the axial. So as you can see from the diagram, these axial bonds are larger than that of these equatorial bonds. Okay, and here as you can observe, the angle between here is 120 and the angle here is 90 degree. So next compound we have is dinitrogen. Okay, now we are studying chemistry of nitrogen and its compounds. So first compound we have is dinitrogen, which is discovered by Daniel Rutherford. Okay, Daniel Daniel Rutherford, and it is discovered in the year 1772. Okay, as we already discussed about nitrogen. Okay, so I'm not repeating again. So that here we have triple bonds, so these are unreactive, like that. Clear? So now if we are coming to the point of preparation, how this dinitrogen is prepared. So first of all, these are how it is prepared in laboratory. So in case of laboratory, we are taking that ammonium chloride. Okay, when we are heating that ammonium chloride and sodium nitrate, so what we have here, we have is the formation of N2, which is dinitrogen, plus here water and NaCl is also formed. Clear? This is how dinitrogen is formed in the laboratory. So next we have is physical properties of dinitrogen. So we must see that these are colorless, odorless and tasteless gases. Okay, and it have two isotopes, that is 14N and 15N. These are non-toxic gases and less soluble in water. So next we have is chemical properties. As we see that nitrogen is unreactive. Why it is unreactive? Because we know that here we have triple bond between N and N, and it is not easy to break that triple bond. Okay, we require more energy. So that is why it is less reactive or unreactive. Clear? So now it may be react with some metals, we can say, or active metals, like here I am taking magnesium. Okay, as we discussed today also, that it is most electropositive, so it react with that when we are heating it. So here we have formation of Mg3N2. Now what is the action with litmus of that dinitrogen? So this dinitrogen are neutral towards litmus. That means there will be no action with blue or red litmus paper. Clear? So next, as I'm saying that it is reacting with metal, it is also combined with non-metals. Okay, so if we are taking example of dinitrogen, so here what we have, we are taking dinitrogen. It is when it is reacting with dihydrogen. Okay, so in the presence of iron catalyst. Okay, we are taking here iron catalyst and the temperature is 700 Kelvin. And we are taking here large pressure, which is 200 atm pressure. So it will form ammonia. Okay, to NH3. So this is how it react with the dihydrogens. Next we have here uses of dinitrogen. So it may be used in manufacture of compound like ammonia, nitric acid, calcium. Okay, you have to write here uses, more uses of dinitrogen to yourself here. Next, now compound we have is ammonia. Okay, ammonia is the most important compound of nitrogen. Okay, so as we know that it is present in small quantity in air also and soil. Okay, so how it is prepared? When we are taking urea, as I'm writing here NH2CONH2, when we are hydrolysis this urea, then we have here NH4,2CO3, then it immediately forms NH3, which is ammonia. Okay, so if we are doing the laboratory preparation, how we prepare in the laboratories? So we are preparing ammonia by heating ammonium chloride with NaOH, that is strong alkali. So here is the formation of NH3, which is ammonia plus water and NaCl. Important point now, this one, remember that 1 mark question may be asked from here, that by which process ammonia is manufactured. So you have to remember that ammonia is manufactured by Haber process. Remember that, Haber process. Now how have Haber process? In this we have form ammonia. We have taking nitrogen gas and H2 gas, and here we have the formation of NH3. So this is a reversible exothermic reaction. As you can see, it is reversible, and this is exothermic reaction. So it may be give us good yield when we are applying it into Le-Chatelier principle. So what Le-Chatelier principle says, that when we are proceeding that reaction, so we have to take low temperature, that is near about 700 Kelvin, and we have to take high pressure. We have to maintain high pressure, that is 200 atmospheric pressure. And we have to use the presence of the catalyst, means we have to use catalyst which is iron oxide. Okay. Now to prepare ammonia, so we have to take a proper plant. Okay, we just not take that some beakers and we have to add into it nitrogen and hydrogen and we have formation of ammonia. No, so we have to take a proper plant. Okay, so as you can see from here, inlets we are taking hydrogen and nitrogen. So these hydrogen and nitrogen we are taking in the ratio of 1:3. Okay, so when we are putting that hydrogen gas and nitrogen gas into the compressor, after compression of the gases, it may be go to the catalyst chamber. Now what is that catalyst chamber? Here we are taking catalyst, which is, as I am saying, we have to take iron oxide. Okay, so when whole this gases mixture are prepared, then we have to pass it from the condenser, or we can say condensing pipe. Then through this condensing pipe, these gases may be converted into the liquid ammonia, and we have to take a receiver, or we can say a beaker, by which we can collect that liquid of ammonia. Okay, now here is we have left with that N2 and H2 gases. Okay, N2 and H2 gases, again it is carry and it is again carry into this process. Okay, so this is how ammonia is formed with the help of Haber process. This is the complete process. Okay, write down on your notebooks also. So next we have is physical property of ammonia. So ammonia is lighter than air. Okay, it is highly soluble in water. So these are some properties. Next we have is chemical properties. So first one we have is basic nature. So why this ammonia is considered to be basic? Because when we are dissolving ammonia into water, then it will form these OH negative ions. So we know that those who are forming OH negative ion, those are basic in nature. Next we have is Lewis base. So again we know that ammonia have a lone pair of electron, so that is why it is act as Lewis base. Next we have is oxides of nitrogen. Okay, now nitrogen is combined with oxygen. Okay, we can say at different conditions. Okay, and then it will form different oxides having oxidation state +1, +2, +3, +4 and +5, like that. Okay, so if we are taking some examples, so first one we have is nitrous oxide. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are taking here ammonium nitrate, and when we are heating that ammonium nitrate, so here we have the formation of that nitrous oxide, which is N2O plus H2O. Now this N2O, you know that it is famously known as laughing gas. Okay, why it is known as laughing gas? When we open that gas, or we are open the container of that in which there is the laughing gas present, N2O gas is present, so then the person start laughing. Okay, that is why it is known as laughing gas. Okay, so N2O is laughing gas. So these are colorless unreactive gas, we can also say. So we are taking one more example, that is nitric oxide. Now how the formation of nitric oxide? Again we are taking ammonia. Okay, when we are treating that ammonia with oxygen at very high temperature and in the presence of catalyst platinum, so here we have formation of NO, which is nitric oxide plus water. Yeah, so these are some reaction. Next one we have is nitric acid. Now nitrogen form different oxo acids. Okay, so maximum are those of unstable. So out of these, nitric acid is stable, more stable and important. As we already discussed about nitric acid, we are sometimes using it as a catalyst, like that. Okay, so these are the strong oxidizing agent. We are taking that strong oxidation agent in the chapter biomolecules also. Okay, if you remember. So in this nitric acid, it will show oxidation state, nitrogen show oxidation state +5. Okay, again when we have to prepare that laboratory preparation. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to taking that sodium nitrate, and when we are treating it with sulfuric acid at temperature 423 to 475 Kelvin, then it will form NaHSO3 plus nitric acid. Clear? So this is the laboratory preparation. Again important point, when nitric acid is manufactured by which process nitric acid is manufactured? Now it is by Ostwald process. Okay, so last time what we discussed about ammonia. So ammonia is manufactured by Haber process. So this is by Oswald. Remember these 2 points. Okay. So how it is prepared from Oswald process? So here we have reactions. So when we are taking ammonia, okay, when we are treating that ammonia with oxygen in the presence of platinum or RH GOG as a catalyst, we are taking this as a catalyst, and at 500 Kelvin temperature and not atmospheric pressure is 9 bar. Okay, so we have here is a formation of 4NO. NO is nitric oxide. Now these nitric oxide is combined again with oxygen and form NO2, which is nitrogen dioxide. Clear? So now this nitrogen dioxide is also again combined with the water and to give nitric acid, which is HNO3 plus NO. Here as you can see, this NO is as a side product. It is also formed. So this NO is again recycled with that HNO3. Okay. So this is how nitric acid is formed in 3 steps. Clear? So next we have is its physical properties. So these nitric acid are colorless liquid. Okay. Colorless liquids, and its boiling point is about 355 and freezing point is 231. So we can see that the impure acid is generally yellow. Okay. So nitric acid containing dissolved nitrogen dioxide is known as fuming nitric acid. Okay. So next one we have is chemical properties again. Okay. So first point we have is acidic character. So this is the, we can say, strongest base, because as you can see here we are taking HNO3 and we are adding it into water. Okay, so it will form as hydronium ion plus nitrate ion. So that is why it is strongest acid. Okay, so it turns blue litmus paper into red. Okay, so next we are taking example of decomposition. So nitric acid, it also decompose when we are heating it strongly. Okay. We can see water and with oxygen. Okay, so it will form water, oxygen and NO2, nitrogen dioxide. So next if we talk about the structure of that nitrate. Okay, so here we have, so we can see that the structure of that is planar. Okay, nitric acid have planar structure. So here we have different nitric acid, that is HONO2. Okay, nitric acid, that is nitrate ion. Okay, so here we have, as you can see, the bond angle between that is HON is 102 degree and ONO is 130 degree and ONO here is 116 degree, and the length is OH is 96 picometer and NO have 121 picometer. Similarly for nitrate ion, okay, this is a NOO, length is 128 picometer and angle is 120 degree. Now this NO3 nitrate ion, it will also resonance hybrid. Okay, as we discussed resonance in benzene, chlorobenzene, phenols. Clear? So here we have resonance in nitrate ion. As you can see here, oxygen we have 6 pair of electrons. So what will happen? These electron goes to this side and this negative charge is removed from here, and now these electron of these bond goes to this oxygen. Okay, this oxygen, then it become negative and from here double bond is replaced. Or we may also see that now this electron again goes to this, making a double bond, or here may electron shift to this side. Okay, or in this second case these electron goes to this side and making a double bond. Clear? And here we have again O negative, O negative. So we can, if draw the hybrid structure of that, so it may be like that, dotted, dotted, dotted. That means these double bond is shifted this positions. Okay, so this is the structure of, or we can say resonance hybrid structures of nitrate ions. Okay, so next we have is uses of nitric acid. So it is manufactured for ammonia nitrate, sulfuric acid, and dyes, perfume, silks. You have to write that uses in your notebooks. This is all about group number 15. Now next we have is group number 16. So group number 16 again contain 5 elements, that is oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, and PO, that is polonium. Okay, so these are the 5 elements. So this is also known as oxygen family, and these first 4 element is known as chalcogens. Okay, as we discussed in last time pinicogens, now these are chalcogens. Remember that point. Okay, so now next we have is occurrence. As we know that oxygen is present in large amount. Okay, so we can say that it is present in 20% by volume in our atmosphere. Clear? So similarly, or we can say that oxygen is formed by the main process of photosynthesis. Okay, it is form of photosynthesis. Now that next element, which is sulfur, it is the, we can say, 16th most abundant element. Okay, 16th most abundant element present in the atmosphere or earth. Now again, if we are talking about general properties or characteristics, so first one we have is electronic configuration. So electronic configuration for this group number 16 may be NS2, NP. Now 4 electrons are there. Clear? Next, if we are talking about physical properties. Okay, physical properties, first point again we have is atomic and ionic radii. Clear? Atomic and ionic radii. Now we know that when we are moving from group number 15 to 16, okay, so the radii of that element are smaller. Okay, atomic radii of 16 group number element are smaller. Why? Because as we know, we are going towards like that in the group, so nuclear charges increases, so that is why the atom become more compressed. So that is why radii of group number 16 are less as compared to the group number 15. Okay, but when we are going down the group, okay, then these atomic sizes increases. We know that why? Because their shells are increases. Clear? So this is how it's atomic and ionic radii. Now next we have is ionization enthalpy. So now ionization enthalpy of that group number 16 are less as compared to that of 15. Why? Because we know that group number 15 are stable. Okay, but group number 16 are not stable. Okay, we can say that it is less stable. Why? Because we know that configuration of 15 are NP3, which is half filled. Okay, NP3 is half filled, or we know that half filled and fully filled electronic configuration are more stable than that of others. So here we have NP4. So that is why it is less stable, and ionization enthalpy of the group number 16 are less. Next important point we have is melting point and boiling point. Now ma'am is writing like MP and BP, so it doesn't mean that you have to also write it like that. Okay, you have to write complete melting point, boiling point, ionization enthalpy and other short forms. Clear? So now yes, we are talking about melting and boiling point. Okay, so with the increase in atomic number, or we can say when we are going down the group, melting and boiling point may be increases. Why it is increases? Because when we are going down the group, atomic number is increases. Okay, so size is increases. We can say magnitude of van der Waals force is increases. Van der Waals force is increases. That means melting point is also increases. Clear? So this is the next point we have is electronegativity. Again, we know that when we are going like that, okay, so electronegativity is increases, but when we are going down the group, electronegativity decreases. Clear? So that means electronegativity of 16 group element have higher than that of 15. Clear? Next we have is metallic and non-metallic character. So that is, we can say that when we are going from oxygen, sulfur, selenium and tellurium, these 4 are non-metal, and the last one, which is polonium, it is metal. Clear? So we can say that metallic character down the group is increases. Next we have is electron gain enthalpy. So we can see that elements of this family have high negative electron gain enthalpy, and the value is decreases when we are going down the group. Clear? So oxygen is the exceptional case. Okay, because oxygen have low negative electronegativity or electron gain enthalpy. Why? Because oxygen have small in size. Okay, so that is why it is. Next point we have is catenation. Again catenation means self-linking property. So we can say that these 16 group elements also have this property. Okay, so oxygen is combining with oxygen, which is dioxygen. Sulfur is also combined with sulfur. It made 7s8 molecule, which is, we can say, pucker ring structure. Okay, so these also have some catenation property. Next we have point number allotropy. Now allotropy means different form of same. So all the element of this group, oxygen, selenium, sulfur, tellurium, polonium, okay, these all 5 elements show allotropy forms of their. Clear? Next we have is oxidation state. So as we know, NS2NP4 is the electronic configuration. Clear? So again it have 2 type of oxidation state. First one is, if we are talking about negative. Okay, how it is negative? When these molecules, it may require 2 electrons to complete its octet, or we can say to complete noble gas configuration. So when they are acquiring 2 electrons, so the oxidation becomes -2. Okay, there are some exceptional cases like OF2 and O2F2, and one more is H2O2. You have to remember that oxidation state of that element is +2, +1, and here we have is -1. These 3 are exceptional cases. Clear? So here we have and 0 in the cases of O2 and O3. Okay, 0 oxidation state. We are talking about oxidation state. Next we have is positive oxidation state. So it will show positive oxidation state. Okay, no, oxygen do not show oxidation state, positive oxidation state, but other elements of that family is able to show positive oxidation state, that is +2, +4 and +6. Remember that oxygen do not show positive oxidation state, but other member can do. Clear? So I think this is enough for today. So next we have is chemical properties for the same. So that we will do later. Till then you have to complete your homework, okay, and make the notes of the same. So yes, that's all for today. Thank you.